Good morning, everyone. According to the meteorologist, today is going to be the warmest day of the year thus far, with highs up into the mid 60s, which is pretty splendid for early February. Don't worry, probably not going to be planting anytime soon. The ground's not even dry enough anyways. This is what people call a false spring. Basically, it's just a minor stretch of warm, pleasant weather in the middle of winter, and then in the next couple of weeks, it'll probably get bitterly cold again. We are definitely going to do something productive today in this nice weather. I just have not decided what yet. Possibly haul grain, or maybe even service some of the tractors. Goose hunters have been busy this morning. You're not a goose. This fog's not as inviting as the sunshine a few miles to the west. I may need to turn around just for the sake of my mood. I will admit I've not been nearly as productive as I'd anticipated on this warm weather Friday morning. Could be the fact that it's Friday, or it could be the fact that it's just the first Friday. Where's the light switch at? Poor plan. Oh, it's right by the door. Yeah, that really does a lot. According to the precision planning expert that's working on my Hagee right now, it's supposed to be done this morning, so I'll probably get that picked up and service it this afternoon if everything goes to plan. The DB60's in town right now. As I told you in the last video, they actually did decide that they are going to pull the axle assembly off of it. So it's pulled apart right now. Put a picture right here at the local John Deere dealership. They're taking the bent piece to be planed. It should fix the stretching of the bull tissue. Not going to hook up the corn planter yet. It's still kind of early for that. I am going to hop in the S780 Combine because other than the aTrippyFarmer I run, it is the only machine with an extra extended display or additional supplemental screen that I'm going to remove from there and put in Dad's planting tractor. Everything's a little steamy in the shed right now with these temperature changes. There's so many different generations and iterations of steering systems and accessories. It's kind of complicated to explain it to you all. Most newer equipment have an integrated display, meaning a display that is tied to the console. The actual computer, I believe, is down in the armrest somewhere. This is the extended display. It just exists to add another screen to share information with. It is functional, so you can touch on it and do different things, but it's not doing any computing. It's just helping with visualization. Like in the Combine, I've got a yield map on there and some guidance stuff. So it's not doing a lot. We don't need the Combine in the spring, so I'm gonna steal this and move it to Dad's planting tractor because a second monitor in a planting tractor is nice. Planters put out a lot of data that you like to keep an eye on. Having two screens makes it easier to keep an eye on that. It's time to take a brief moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Factor. Being busy and on the go is not something that's unique to just farmers. I know those of you watching also have a pretty packed full schedule, and sometimes finding the right foods and making the right choices for your body is a little bit challenging. Fortunately for you and I, that's where Factor comes in. Factor offers delicious, ready-to-eat meals that make eating better every day easier. Wherever tomorrow takes you, you can be ready with pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 different options a week to choose from a variety of different eating styles, there's everything that you could want. It's extremely delicious and, most importantly, simple. In my opinion, the hardest part about this is waiting 2 minutes, that's right, just 2 minutes, for your food to cook. Listen, I know what some of you are thinking, microwave food, it can't be that great. I thought the same thing, but Allie and I were shocked with how good some of these meals are. I genuinely do not think that we could cook with fresh ingredients some nights and produce this high quality of a food. And even if you're not accounting for the tastiness, think about the simplicity. No going to the grocery store, 2 minutes preparing, and then you're not wasting money on fuel, energy, on putting together a grocery list. And don't even get me started on the cost of going and getting takeout if you're doing that. We've been using Factor for long enough now that I can definitely attest to its ability to aid in a clean eating program if you're trying to not overeat like a lot of us tend to do, myself included. Factor is great for that because it keeps you consistent. For those of you who are interested in trying Factor, I'll sweeten the deal by throwing in a win-win scenario. If you head over to factor75.com and use code TrippyFarmer50, you will get 50% off on your first order, and as long as you maintain a subscription beyond that, you will get 2 free wellness shots with each order, which is a pretty good deal. If you take the 50% off, try the meal out. You're not even gonna be able to buy food and prepare it yourself for that cheap. If you don't like Factor, which I highly doubt you won't, just cancel the subscription. It's a win-win. Again, factor75.com. Use code TrippyFarmer50 to get 50% off on your first order. Head over, check it out, get started today. I appreciate Factor for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the regularly scheduled programming. Some may argue that you're better off not knowing what's going on. So if you didn't want to know, you wouldn't put the second monitor in, because the less you know, the better. These extended monitors aren't really that expensive compared to the actual processing monitors. It's just one of those things where we don't need an extra. We've got one in the combine. The planter and the combine tractor usually aren't running at the same time, so why not just take the extra and move it over as opposed to spending an extra $1,000. I'm probably not going to get to it right away. Everything I need though to set this up in the other tractor is here, along with the elusive 10mm wrench. Oh, never mind, I've already changed my mind. The 8R340's over here at the Upoff Boys shop. Jake and Sam are detailing and waxing it for Dad. They do a really good job, way better than we would, and I do believe that Dad enjoys, you know, helping out another set of young farmers with something they can make some money off of. I'm gonna run inside, check it out, see if I can get this monitor on. It's so nice outside today, I decided to go ahead and service some tractors. I'm gonna try to get these two beasts serviced. Dad doesn't think we even put enough hours on that 4-wheel drive to justify changing the oil, so we'll wait on that. If I can get my Hagee home this morning or this afternoon early, I'll try to service it as well. All of my help must be hiding or sunbathing or anywhere but at the farm, so I gotta walk over and get that other one too. Got the 9460R over here. Check the monitor. It's got 1,744 hours. I believe this one here has 400 and change. Oh, look at that. $399. We got this tractor 2 years ago. Not too much use on her. Pretty standard service here. You're gonna dump the engine oil out, replace oil filters, add new oil, check engine air filters, replace them if need be. You're not supposed to blow them out anymore. I don't know if that's a legitimate thing or if John Deere just wants to sell you more air filters. And then I'll also blow out the cab air filter and blow out the cab. We should be ready to run for spring. First order of business is losing this vest and stocking cap. We are not gonna need it. It's warm out. New air filters on top of the box, old ones over there on the ground. I'm not sure you can really tell if they're bad. Little bit of buildup in between the filter papers in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. We bought one to put in here, so might as well do it. There she is. Old filter. Changed it 1576, so spring and fall we put 200 hours on this rig. According to Mother Deere, the 13.5 liter engine with the filter included holds 12.7 gallons of oil. Hopefully we got enough. This tank feels kind of low, so may have to call Dad to go get us some more. I've been daydreaming lately about switching to the totes. I'd like a big 275 gallon tote for used oil. I'd also like to get our bulk oil in the totes. I think it'd be easier other than making our air transfer system work, which I think wouldn't be that hard. We've already done it with our DEF and it's very nice, so oil is surely the next step. That's a 0, need 12.7. 5 to 10 minutes, I'd guess. Oh, classic. Ran out of oil. It says I got 11 gallons in. Assuming that's right, I need just shy of 2 gallons to finish her up. I'm just going to manually pull some out of that drum right there. I don't even know if there's 2 gallons in it. And then that should do it. 26 glugs to be precise. I don't think it's all ran down yet. goes Chris driving by. He's probably concerned. He had no idea I was working. Acting like I overfilled it, which could have. That tractor is ready to go, other than Dad and I decided we should probably completely replace the cab air filter. So when he goes to get oil after dinner, he's going to grab that filter, and then it's ready to hit the ground running for spring, other than getting the GPS in it. I moved the 9620R into the main service bay spot, you know, high falutin operation we got here. Dad strongly advised that I don't drop the oil out of this tractor until we have oil here. He claimed that the last thing you want to do is pull the oil out of something without having oil to put back in it. So we're going to leave it here for now and get some oil after dinner. Based on the hour mark on the old oil filter that we will take off when we change it, it looks like we put about 160 hours on this tractor as well. 160 on the 9620R is a lot more work getting done than 170 on the 9460R, because it's got 150 more horsepower, give or take a few. It's really not that many hours. I posed this question last year when I was servicing everything. Do you even change oil if you've not put 500 hours on it? And the most common answer by far was it's cheaper to change your oil than it is to put a new engine in your tractor. So yearly maintenance is important. We are gonna go ahead and change this as with everything else. Only thing that won't need the oil changed is the aTrippyFarmer, because it got ran through Alliance Tractor Shop when we traded for it. Dad and I ran into town to get another 55 gallons of some John Deere oil, and then Jake and Sam Uphoff detailed the new aTrippyFarmer. Looks great. We're going to bring it home and get it in the shed so it's out of their way. Dad seems to be able to operate that Command Pro IVT, so he may be running the corn planter this spring. As clean as that aTrippyFarmer is right now, it's almost going to be criminal to take it to the field here in another month or so. This would be a lot easier if we had a forklift. It's over at Dad's shed though. We don't really bring it over here. New oil barrel is plumbed up and ready to fill. Drain the tractor now. We're in the process of changing the air filters. Cab air filter, we already blew it out, so just waiting on this to run out of oil. We were doing a pretty good job not making it a mess until Chris tried taking the oil filter off and then spilled a little too much. That just happens. Yeah, it was definitely Chris, totally not me who did that. Although I don't know how there was so much oil left in the filter assembly once the oil had almost completely stopped running. There was a lot in there. This tractor has a larger displacement than the 9460R. It only holds 11.5 gallons though, so it holds less oil. Must just be an engine design difference. Other than greasing both these tractors, they're ready to go. Dad wanted us to put whole new primary and secondary air filter in that tractor just because he thought they were a little dirty. I don't know. That's his baby. We're gonna take him back to the shed and then I gotta go get my Hagee. Nearby Cy Hopper's place. Precision Planting guys got this reclaim system installed. You can see there's a plethora of new hoses here that help cycle chemical back to the main tank when it's on. I don't have enough water in the tank to really showcase it to you all, so I'm just going to take it home and put it away, and then once we get prepped for spring spraying, I'll show you how this thing works. Unfortunately, our schedule is not going to permit us getting this thing serviced today. The weather's going to cool off next week, so we'll probably just pull it in the shed at home and try to get it done next time it's nice outside. Who knows though, next time it's warm outside, maybe the 3rd or 4th week of March, and we might try to plant. That's a long ways away though. Won't be too long, we'll be spending a lot of time in this thing. an awful lot of space in here when the DB60 and the 8R370 aren't in this shed. One of these days we're gonna have to put up some more storage space because we're kind of getting max capacity. It would be so nice to build a shop. I know a lot of you guys in the comments are always asking, why don't you have a shop? Those big dogs up in Minnesota have shops. All your neighbors have shops. Don't get me wrong. I bet it would be phenomenal. We could work on stuff inside when the weather's miserable outside. And there's a lot of benefits, even just having a hub for everyone to come first thing in the morning before a hard day's work. The hard part about a shop is that building a shop that would fit a farm of our size to get some of our bigger pieces of equipment in would cost a lot of money. I mean, you're looking at a minimum of $500,000, a big one, $750,000 to $800,000. And the question you got to ask yourself is the return on investment even actually there for a shop? If you're running some kind of side hustle, whether it be a seed dealership, maybe precision planting like Cy is, that would probably work pretty well. For our operation, we could just wait for a nice day, get what needs done outside done, and then not work outside when it's miserable or work on things that the weather is conducive for. It's hard to justify spending all that money, creating all that overhead, increasing insurance costs, property tax costs, financing costs if you're financing the shop, just to do piddly things here and there. There's a lot of people out there who don't really show the full picture when they've got some of these things. They say, oh, we save all this money on maintenance because we have a shop. Some of these jobs that we have to have done on our tractors, like that DB60 getting pulled apart, although it's warranty, we probably wouldn't do that ourselves anyways. We would let qualified John Deere technicians do it because they have the experience, they have the unique tools you need to do it. Long story short, this is a very nuanced topic. There's a lot of opportunities created by building a nice shop to work in. If you want to capitalize on them, you either probably have to become a qualified mechanic yourself, or you're going to add a $100,000 plus a year employee to your operation to do maintenance like the John Deere technicians are probably doing. So there's a lot of opportunity cost involved. You could take that money, say $750,000, and build 7 of those big 48-foot grain bins and store 300,000 bushels on your farm. So that's a very basic example. There's a lot of things you could use that money on. Interest rates are getting higher, makes these things more complicated to decide on. It's just no simple answer to why do you build a shop or not build a shop. It's a hard thing to decide. It'd be nice to have, but I don't think they're all that they're chalked up to be. Again, though, I would like to have one. There's really no wrong answer with how you want to manage your farm's finances, as long as you're not going bankrupt. There's a lot of different routes you can take, and it's really up to you, your personality, your workforce, and maybe the scenario at hand to decide how you want to invest your funds. For us, though, the bank owns everything, so they have to tell us what to do. Anyways, I think that's more than enough farming for one video. I'm going to take off. As always, everyone, I greatly appreciate every single one of you continuing to tune in and support the channel. Your viewership means the world to me. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Until then, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and comment down below if you have any questions. You know I love to talk about farming. Have a great day, everyone. Peace!